001, locals 4890 or 4892.
Kaibigan, alam mo na ba kung anong dapat gawin upang iwasan at sugpuin ang COVID-19? Iwasang hawakan ang bibig, mata at ilong. Laging maghugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig sa loob ng 20 segundo. Linisin ang mga bagay na palaging hinahawakan. Kumain ng balanse at masusustansyang pagkain. Matulog ng sapat, huwag magpupuyat. Stay home! Sa wastong pag-iingat, ang virus hindi kakalat. COVID-19, kayang-kaya nating tapusin.
We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at radyo-katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates. Radyo-Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo-Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo-Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Blue Eagle kami, di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, punong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munchin' with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM.
What's poppin' and welcome to Popcorn with Cholo Sediaren, your stop for all things pop, where we talk about all things pop culture from here in the Philippines to the rest of the globe. Welcome everyone to this special two-parter pre-recorded episode, and in this first part, we'll be running down some August Ganaps that slipped away in our monthly Popcorn episode. We'll be running down some things that happened in the pop culture sphere in the month of August with our special co-hosts for this episode, our guests from the Pop Emergency Podcast, Alywn and Adrian, and of course our Popcorn co-hosts, we have Maxine, Paula, Jeremiah, and Cruz. So without further ado, enjoy this episode of Popcorn. What's poppin' and welcome to Popcorn with Cholo Sediaren, your stop for all things pop, where we talk about all things pop culture from here in the Philippines to the rest of the globe. Welcome back everyone, at nasa bahay pa rin tayo lahat. At ayun, before we begin, of course, let's introduce our co-hosts for the day. Of course, let's welcome back Paula. Hey Paula.
Hi! Glad to be back, as always.
She's our resident female. resident female. She really is.
It's true. It's really true.
That's your role in this
Yeah.
movie. Okay, we
I
also
accept.
have Jeremiah. Hey there.
Hello.
And of course, our Twitter verified correspondent. We have Ferns. Welcome back, Ferns. At syempre, meron tayong mga espesyal na panauhin sa episode na ito. Meron tayong mga nangangapit bahay from Pop Emergency. Ang ating mga kapitbahay from Pop Emergency, Adrian and Alywn. Welcome to the show.
Hello! Yes, tao po.
Yes, oo.
Dahil
Pagbilin ng
ano,
yelo.
dahil bawal lumabas pa rin. Bawal pa rin
Yes.
lumabas.
Virtually,
Mga kapitbahay,
nangangapit
yes.
bahay.
Oo.
Sa mga psiklibo hanggang ngayon, bawal lumabas.
Exactly.
Came true.
Hello, guys.
And ito, may pahabol tayong
Oh,
co-host na nakahabol. She's an actual songer herself. Miss Maxine Cruz is here. Hey, Max.
Oh.
Welcome back. Naka-mute siya.
Nakamute ka, but
Hi, I brought a friend.
Hello.
hello.
So, Max,
What's his
we-
name?
Hi. Hi, this is Bailey.
Hi, Bailey.
Hi, Bailey.
So, ayun, si Max is our Maxne because she's our youngest. She's our youngest, so she's our Maxne. Anyway, so welcome, Max. Welcome back. It's been a while.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, ayun. So, today, our episode is the music videos that made us. So, since MTV had their 40th anniversary just earlier this month, we just randomly thought of like, oh, pag-usapan kaya natin yung mga music videos na, you know, made us into the pop culture stance that we are now. And, you know, let's get into that zone of just reminiscing and talking about music videos of the stuff, of the artists that we all love. But before that, of course, let's go to our first segment of the day, which is our popcorns or our pop culture kernels for the day or for the week. And our reactions to them, is it a yes, a sax, or a pass? So matagal na natin hindi sinasabi yung mga yun. But we're back with that. So ito, pag-usapan muna natin ang meme of the moment, meme of the week, meme of, I'd like to call, it's just like so iconic right now na pagising ko nung isang araw, ito na yung bumulabog sa katauhan ko. And I just haven't stopped thinking about it. Miss Karen Davila and like the happy birthday in advance, November 21. So, any thoughts on this whole thing? I mean, syempre, natuwa tayo lahat and Twitter exploded. All the memes came out of it. Natawag na liar si Laika for some reason, which was the funniest thing. Definitely a yes because, you know, especially sa mga panahon na pinagdadaanan ng Pilipinas ngayon, nakakatuwang makakita ng mga katuwaan at kalokohan lang na gano'n. And
Just thinking about it, natatawa na ako.
Diba? Yung gano'n. Si Paula yata yung like in this situation. ayun si Paula, exactly. So anyone, anong ambag niyo sa topic natin na yan?
Love it.
A moment.
A meme is born.
Yeah.
I think what's really interesting about it is it just shows how hindi ko ma-explain but then sobrang nakaka-capture niya yung Pinoy humor. And that Pinoy humor lies in those little moments na unguarded ka na. And the reveal ka. That's what Pinoy humor is.
And ang ganda rin kasi na parang that vlog ni Karen Davila was talking about Laika's journey and how she's trying to stay afloat in the industry. Syempre kasi nung mga kasabay na si Darren, si JK, who are now like musical superstars in the industry. So si Laika medyo, syempre, siya yung nanalo in that season and Miss Karen is like looking back. And then pinag-usapan din ni Laika doon na binenta niya yung bahay na napanalunan niya sa The Voice, diba? Because she wants to be close to her lola's house, which I think doon siya lumaki. So parang ganun yung sinabi niya. And you know, it's nice to have her back in the conversation from that moment. And ang daming mga na unearth na mga nung bata pa lang, Laika 16, but like when she was even younger, marami na siyang reaction pala na ganun na ganun siya mag-react. So nakakatawa lang
Off guard.
It's just like really her, ganun. And her vlog pala is parang 5 birthday tips ni Miss Karen Davila. Yun yung vlog niya that came after the meme was born.
So, and actually, nagkaroon ng event on Facebook na we will have to celebrate their birthdays in September. So parang para siyang similar sa suntukan sa East
Yeah,
Hardware. Diba?
November 21 is a holiday
Yes.
now.
It's like a day. Magpadala naman kayo ng mga
Right.
Laika gems ni Jen.
National holiday. Yeah.
But I hope people would listen or watch the video of Laika. And he talked so much about her story and showed so much of her character, which is very interesting din. Kasi ang bata niyang nagsimula. So, we may say na hindi niya na-reach kung ano yung na-reach ng mga peers niya. But we have to also consider that she is the youngest from the group. So,
Yeah.
from what I see after watching that, not bad. She's 17 and she has, a career waiting for her, honestly, kasi she's just getting started.
Yeah.
And yun nga parang you never know when the moment will come. Like, it just takes one song for you to really like blow up, and she's just waiting for that moment. And mangganda to see young artists still striving regardless of what their stature is at the moment. So, any thoughts, Miss Max, our resident singer then dito?
Wow, okay, pressure. If I'm being honest with you, I've been living under a rock because of finals. So when I saw the meme, I only saw it in its 2D format, like with the reactions and everything. And people have been so creative with it. It's so funny. But then, like, when I heard Laika's reasoning for selling the house, I was actually very surprised that she considered doing that, because like I remember at the time, like of her being a kid on The Voice, it was all over the news that she was very excited to be getting a new house. And I think Darren had a plan that if he won, he would want to give Laika the house because he thought that she would need it more. But then seeing that Laika made that decision, like, but it's more important for me to be close to my family, to be close to my grandmother especially, and of course to not abandon the memories that we made there. Like, that's you guys are right. Like, that's very telling of her character, and it's a side of her we don't usually see, or at least I don't usually see. So I thought that was very interesting.
And I guess last na about this topic, it's just nice to have those light things, especially yung mga Lambda versus Delta. Parang nagugulat na lang si Lambda na si si Delta na si Karen Davila na I'm mixing it up, but those kinds of memes, especially in this political climate, it's just like coming after the Olympics, diba, we had that nice uplifting story. Now we have this. So yun, final word on that. Any last things before we move on to our next? And speaking of labanan ng mga bagay-bagay, ito na. Naka-announce lang din this week ang Drag Race Philippines officially by Mama Ru herself. So, syempre, kakalabas lang din ng mga promos for Drag Den with Manila Luzon a few days before, or maybe a day before they announced TikTok auditions for Drag Den. And out of nowhere, Mama Ru's just like, wait, let's just open up the doors of the Philippines. I mean, it's kind of been long rumored, but we have an official announcement, and Twitter just blew up again, and ang dami ng mga dream lip syncs, dream snatch games, dream pit stop even.
Dream pit stop.
I mean, it's a dream, Paula. Joke. Anyway, thoughts on Drag Race Philippines? I mean, definitely exciting things, but how they're gonna integrate into the Filipino culture, na it can't be too Western, definitely. And especially with drag then, I mean, it's definitely interesting to have two drag shows, and that's telling of how the community is being more accepted na in this time versus before, or more than ever. Let's hear it from the workroom, Char.
It's already there.
Ando na si Alywn, nauna na siya.
Hello. It's exciting, finally, when the news blew up, and then first for drag, then excited na lahat ng tao, and then right after that we have now an announcement for RuPaul's Drag Race, because basically drag is alive here in the Philippines, and hindi hindi siya kakaiba. What I mean is, it's everywhere. You know what I mean? And ang exciting that we're going to have a platform finally, especially for LGBTQ, for those who loves drag so much. If you've been to O-Bar, to Nectar, diba? Lip sync to House Down period, we're gonna have those. The music Tala became a big hit because of
A drag
all
queen.
those,
Yeah.
yes, all those performances, and especially from a drag queen, diba? So it started to become na ano na parang accumulation of a Pinoy culture. So interesting for Snatch Games. Excited sila if there's gonna be like Rufa May Snatch Game. Kasi if you've watched all the Pinoy TV shows that we had before, we've always been inviting people na nanggaling sa mga comedy bars who did impersonations before. Nagpasikat tayo ng madaming impersonators before. And hanggang ngayon, there's Crazy Achino, si Tita Chrissy, di ba? So, sobrang gandang platform nito for everyone. And finally, it's for everyone's visibility. So, I'm excited. Super. There.
And ano rin, Paula, you wanted to say?
Oh, I mean, we've been talking about like a local drag race on this
Forever.
podcast. Since, like the first episode of this podcast. I don't know, but it's been such a long time coming. And clearly we're all very, very excited by it. And yun nga, the possibilities are endless. All of the suggestions coming from Twitter are hilarious. I want that Mommy Junisha snatch game. Like, let's have it. Give it
Annabelle
to me.
Rama Snatch
Annabelle
Game.
Rama snatch game. All the potential guest judges that we could have. It's just, I feel like gay Filipino culture is so rich kasi with like all of these things that
They are the industry.
right, they are, because like even my parents who are like the straightest of the straights know what I'm talking about when I start talking about like Filipino gay culture, and that's amazing to me. So I hope it's something that's visible, not just for the LGBTQ plus community, because we will obviously be the first to accept it and to watch it, but hopefully because of how not naman palatable, but how like open the gay culture is then in this country in terms of like pop culture at the very least, more people will get to watch it as well, and I think everybody's excited for it. So yay. And I really just am interested to know how they will localize a lot of the terminologies in Drag Race, like sashay away. I mean, I know I posted this on Twitter. It's like, uwian na, may nanalo na, diba? Like all of these things. Having local vernaculars that could be used in like the best way possible. That we might need our own subtitles for like the Beckinese and of it all. So it's great. I'm
Pinagsabi chupe.
And I just found out that not every community from different parts of the world has, like Becky language. So yeah, only in the Philippines that is so vast, it's so profound. So I attended or entered one room in Clubhouse and I asked them, sabi ko, meron ba kayong Becky language sa bansa nyo? Sabi nyo, what? We don't have that.
Right? They just have slang, but it's not like as intense.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
It's so intense with us. So that's going to be an interesting, flavor as well on Drag Race.
It's such a match made in heaven because Pinoy showbiz culture and Pinoy gay culture is so camp. Like, there's so many instances na ang dami lang pwede paglaruan in Drag Race.
Exactly.
So like, I'm pretty sure sana gumawa sila and for their acting challenge. Parang silang tribute to the great Philippine drama scenes. Like,
excuse me, like huwag mo akong iteri-teri.
You're nothing but a second-rate trying hard copycat. Ano pa ba?
That's gay culture. Oh my God.
It's gay culture.
Querida, kabet, relasyon, mistress.
Exactly.
Ang dami. There's so much.
Then we also have the divas that
Exactly.
are going to
The
give tributes.
Rusical.
Regina.
Viva Hot Babes, the Rusical.
Yeah.
Viva Hot Babes, the Rusical. Make it
Featuring
happen.
extra special guest. Si ano?
Kahit sino sa kanila, masaya ako.
Andrea Del Rosario or Katya. Ibang Katya pala.
Ibang cut. And like, and another thing is, I'm so excited to see just how wide the drag talent in the Philippines is. Someone tweeted nga na parang, I hope that the casters don't just choose Metro Manila-based queens because grabe yung talent in Bacolod, in Davao, all over the country. Grabe yung drag talent natin. And I'm so excited to not just be entertained by it, but to learn more about our country's heritage when it comes to drag.
And on top of that, parang it's nice that the world, especially with the franchise of Drag Race internationally and the amount of fans that they have all around the world that will watch any Drag Race show from whatever country, it's nice to show what Filipino gay culture actually is versus like the Filipino Americans. Syempre, like Manila Luzon already grew up in the States. So parang, I mean, we have like Jiggly, Caliente also, but like to have like the actual culture in the Philippines and bring that to the globe is just really exciting also.
Yeah.
Ako gusto kong sabihin na I love how with just one announcement, there's already a shift in the culture. Kasi progress to eh. Ang saya rin isipin na I think let's not pit these two shows against each other.
Exactly.
Kasi there's a unique personality na may ihahain ng isang show. And actually, nag-click ako sa isang like join the contest sa Drag Den ata. I love how inclusive the form is. Like, ano yung live name mo? It's not the birth name. I love how they mention, ano ba yung Soji mo? So parang, I guess that it's really one step towards progress. And I love how they brought out a subculture to the mainstream as well. So parang ang gandang i-celebrate yung drag sa Philippines, definitely.
I have a lot of thoughts with the Drag Den and Drag Race na pinagsabay nila yung announcement. But I'll save that for a later episode.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we've always been holding off what we wanted in our Fantasy Drag Race Philippines because we're like, baka naman nakawin yung ideas natin. But now that it's out, we're definitely gonna have that Fantasy Drag Race Philippines episode.
All I'm gonna say is, ayun. I'm excited that there's gonna be 2 shows because that just means there are gonna be more Filipina drag queens.
Yeah, exactly.
Sabi nga ni Melanie Marquez, the more the merrier.
Yes, the more the merrier. Y'all should be in charge of at least one episode, seriously.
I know. World of Wonder, if you're listening, we're available.
Hello, Fip Solomon, kung nakikinig ka. Andito lang po kami.
Manifest.
Cornerstone Entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, yun. So, abangan nyo na lang yung episode namin. We'll definitely have a full-on episode just on Drag Race Philippines and what we want to see out of it.
Tayo pala yung pit stop eh. Pop stop.
Yeah. Let's offer. Magpapitcha tayo.
Oo nga, push natin yan. So, next. So, that's Drag Race Philippines and Drag Den with Manila Luzon. And next, speaking of iconic queens, a new announcement this week is 10 years of Little Mix with the announcement of Between Us, the greatest hits album from Little Mix celebrating their 10 years. And there's 5 new tracks that are going to be on this album. I already know the titles and I will probably say it after, but I can't say it here. Hindi pa siya announced officially. But yun, I mean, definitely, and on the note that we're talking about music videos, I feel like Little Mix has proven that they're one of the longest standing Western girl groups out there. 10 years, that's not something easy to do, especially in this world dominated by K-pop na in girl groups. And, you know, One Direction is over. Sila yung kasabayan nila. Not really over, or I guess it's never really over. But they're on hiatus or whatever. But Little Mix is still here. I mean, Jessie's gone and already announced her own solo single with Nicki Minaj daw. But Little Mix, I stand, I love.
Yeah.
Touch is an iconic music video on its own, definitely. So, ayun, any thoughts on Little Mix? I definitely think that they deserve more love globally than they're receiving right now. Yun, thoughts on Little Mix, 10 years.
you've kind of said it all. And like, I just wanted to start from when they were the kasabays of One Direction, because that's my memory of them when all of them were like teenagers and young, and it was the early 2010s. So of course, like fashion and music were so different back then. But that's the image of them that I've always had. So I know that recently they posted like a picture now. The three of them, I think, are pregnant at the same time.
Two of them.
So
Two of them.
two of them are two of them. All right. So they're gonna be moms together. And then like I just liked seeing how, despite the fact that it's been 10 years, they're still great friends. They're still together and they're still making music, because I think nowadays it's kind of hard. Like, we don't see that happen that often, that groups last more than 5 years. So it's nice to see that they're still together. Like, most of them are still together and they're not showing signs of slowing down. So good for them.
And they look so beautiful.
Oh,
Pregnant
gorgeous.
Perry
They
and
look- Yeah.
grabe. They just released their like pregnancy photos and like wow. And to think I think they were pregnant now when they did their last music video, which was
Yeah.
Confetti. That's like crazy. And yeah, it's just really exciting to have that. And that's coming soon. 5 new songs, and they have multiple editions like standard, deluxe, super deluxe. Madaming abangan sa Little Mix. Pop Emergency. Anong masasabi niyo dyan sa pop news na yan?
Oh, I'm so happy. 10 years is difficult to get. Not everybody has that. Sabi nga ni Mariah, di ba? And ako gusto ko lang kausapin yung angle about, kung mapapansin niyo guys, bibihira na yung mga artists na nag-release ng greatest hits album. Siguro it's a benchmark, or like it's a milestone for them. Already iconic. And sino ba yung last na nag-release sa alam natin? I think The Weeknd. And then who else? Diba? The main pop girls, I think they're not releasing a greatest hits album anytime
2015
soon. So,
last yata, Mariah
diba?
Carey.
So,
That's such a
Tagal
good.
na.
So when I think of greatest hits album, I immediately think of the 90s divas, Whitney.
Right. The Mariahs, the
right.
Whitneys, Celine.
So like
They used to
sobrang
do that.
it's actually like sobrang kudos to them na they're on that
Yes.
level na, and very deserved.
Right. The last time we had a very great bond was Destiny's Child back in 2005. I think that was the last greatest hits album from a girl group that we had. And it's very comparable to Little Mix. Kasi ganun din sila eh. They have that personal relationship with each other, just like Destiny's Child. So ako as a fan of Destiny's Child and seeing these girls too thriving, growing together, that's very interesting because that also reflects with their music. So if you observe the discography of Little Mix, talagang from teenagers, they really grew, diba, onto becoming women. On LM5, they explored
Yes.
a lot of things. On Glory Days, they became fun, carefree girls, right? So, tapos dito with this greatest hits, this is going to be another pivot for their career. So exciting. Lagi namin sinasabi ni Adrian sa Pop Emergency, what happens after motherhood is something that is very glorious when it comes to pop girls, kasi they are very fueled, they're very inspired, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Sobrang laki ng potential, ang dami pa nilang pwedeng gawin because ang dami nang hindi na gumagawa ng ginagawa nila ngayon as a group. So they can own that and make it, something bigger.
And it's nice, definitely nga, to have that girl group of our generation to
Oo.
relate to, even though, it's been a while.
K-pop
Pero, I mean,
girl groups kasi parang may expiration date sila eh. Honestly. Like
yeah.
parang they
True.
stop at certain point because they're not as lucrative or sobrang hindi sila maka-keep up. Ito
Ako
kasi
sobrang
they're-
strict. Yeah.
Correct. They're at their
It's
own
a cycle,
pace. If you
yeah.
correct. And they also, sabi ni AD before, I cannot forget this one, how Sweet Melody was a reminiscent of K-pop visually, sonically, kasi they're now trying to adapt what K-pop girls are doing and make it their own. So evolving. Ever
And
evolving.
definitely
ang
sa
Little
skill
Mix.
pa lang din eh. Even the skill as parang Western girl group, definitely different.
Yeah.
Um,
The best.
I mean, yung yung panahon na nagkaroon ng Little Mix and Fifth Harmony at the same time, you can really see the
Comparable.
difference, diba?
Comparable. No shade though. No shade.
At least walang
Yeah.
kinukulong sa dressing room.
Marian Rivera ka, girl.
Oh my God.
Tsaka si Melody.
Not the melody. Pussycat Dolls. Goodness.
Tapos siya, is this the American Music Awards?
Yeah. AMA.
Yeah, that is.
So livid. Yes, so pissed.
Dude.
She really loosened up those buttons, babe.
But if anyone who's listening right now, first time to hear Little Mix, I hope you also watch Brit Awards. Shout out to my ex.
My ex.
Oh my God,
And if-
iconic.
And if hindi ka maging fan after that, that's on you. That's
Something's
on you.
wrong. Like,
Right,
you evaluate yourself. I can't.
That's on you.
All the tools are right there at your disposal.
Oh my God, yeah.
I just
Very
really
iconic
hope
group.
na they have that super global breakout hit na
Yeah.
makes them really makes their mark, especially in the US, which I think they're still having some trouble trying to cross over to. So parang at least that's one thing I
Fans
wish for
are
Little Mix.
pissed too Fans are pissed,
Yeah.
honestly. They've been vocal about it. Like, parang, what do they need to do or what do they need to prove for them to cross over?
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
They have everything naman that like is needed for a girl group to succeed in the States. So it's very strange that they still haven't like cracked that code or whatever.
Yeah, but undoubtedly they're one of the biggest girl groups, even first time winning the Brit Award for Best Group.
Yeah.
So we stand and we will wait for
Period.
Filipinas. Yes. And last popcorn for the week, talking about groups, we have the final. Ito na yung, I just had to like connect it somehow. Speaking of groups, we have a new emerging group in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which are the Eternals, which just came out with the final trailer for the movie earlier today. And Marvel fans, what do you have to say on here? I mean, definitely Queens on Queens, Gemma Chan, Angelina Jolie, Salma
my
Hayek.
God.
And of course, we have the King of the North, Richard Madden, and Jon Snow is there also.
I'm just here for the Stark reunions.
Reunion.
Period.
And that Scottish accent, I cannot. My gosh.
All I have to say as a non-Marvel fan is, what a beautiful cast. Gemma Chan, Angelina, both Stark brothers.
And we have
It's a very gay cast. It's a very gay cast, if I'm being honest.
Is this a Marvel cast or is this a Vogue editorial? I don't know.
I know.
It could be both.
Everyone was standing online a while ago.
And we also have Kumail Nanjiani here.
Yes!
Like, yes.
Who looks amazing.
Representation, yeah. So, I mean, definitely it looks spectacular coming off of Chloe Zhao's Academy Award win also. So parang wow, like it looks so
Big
epic.
fan.
And, we don't know anything about the Eternals as more of the casual viewers, I guess, or even for the general viewership. But it's nice to have mga breakout characters then, the same way Guardians of the Galaxy and now with Shang-Chi. It's really exciting to see what more they can do with the MCU, and it's looking amazing.
Very diverse ang
Mhm.
ang magiging phase 2 ng Avengers versus the ones we had before. So sobrang ganda for us to have that kind of visibility for everyone. We have Asian, we have Black people, right? It's everywhere. So very exciting times for us. Even I'm not sure Captain Marvel is leading the Avengers,
We don't know who's going to lead the new Avengers, but
but I
there's
think
a lot
she
of
will, but
candidates.
right?
Because
That-
Doctor
that
Strange
too.
seems to be like a good candidate then coming
Yeah.
from where the MCU.
That would be a statement. Women forward, come on.
Oh yeah,
They're
definitely.
Yes. So, yeah.
The
Max?
visuals of the Eternals trailer. Like, okay, from the actors, let's go to the production side. Like the costumes, the effects, the scenes. It looks like it's going to be so good.
Cinematography.
Yeah, the cinematography looks like it's going to be
Ganda.
so good. Like I saw people like capturing stills from it and saying like, wow, like I can't believe this is from a Marvel movie because it really just looked so Like, I don't even know how to
Art.
describe it. Yeah,
It's
but you know
art.
how? Do you know? Do you guys?
Editorial.
Yeah. Do you guys remember how the Lord of the Rings trilogy made people feel when it came out? Like it just looked so real, so epic, so cool. That's the same vibe I'm getting from the Eternals, and it's only been a trailer. So imagine what more we're gonna get when we have the full movie. It's so exciting. I just wanted to say, buti pa the Eternals, they have their trailers now. What about Spider-Man Nowhere Home? But yeah, that's just me.
Nowhere to be found. Nowhere.
December pa yun. We're giving it time.
But there are rumors that it's premiering at CinemaCon next week. So
Yeah.
we'll see about that. And I just read something about it's a nice marketing tactic to not spend on marketing by relying on leaks. So technically you're getting the word out there, but it's just relying on that.
It's a double-edged sword for them kasi it's either like you build up this hype for so long and then you disappoint, or you build up this hype and then it's as good as people are expecting it to be. So I hope it works out well for everybody.
Definitely. Burns, may sasabihin ka about Eternals?
When I found out kasi there was a new trailer, I avoided it. I avoided it talaga. Like I didn't want to know anything more. Like I knew, like in the first place, I didn't know anything about the Eternals apart from what the comics say about who the Eternals are. And then, so now I'm gonna try. I as much as possible. I don't want to know anything more about it. So bahala na kung ano yung maano. But I have to say na yun nga, they got an amazing cast. The visuals are amazing. They got Chloe Zhao, and I love her work talaga. And
Burns got disconnected. Anyone else on this note?
Wow.
Yun,
It just made me miss the cinemas even more.
Oh my gosh.
Do you even remember every Marvel film na lalabas? Tapos tatapusin mo yung film kasi definitely may after credit scene. So parang, oh my
The
God.
screams on Endgame.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? When everyone assemble, Avengers assemble, and oh fuck. That was a moment for everyone, not just in film, but everyone inside that movie house. Namiss ko talaga.
Yun yung yun yung nawala ngayon, the conversation surrounding blockbusters aren't really the same anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's a niche group of super fans who would talk about it. But it's definitely not like as widespread as it once was.
Exactly.
But we're looking forward to the day we all return to cinemas. Sana talaga.
Yeah.
So yun. That's it for Marvel Studios, The Eternals. And last trailer we're gonna be talking about today is another Disney property, which is Star Wars Visions. This is like a reimagining of Star Wars through an anime Japanese inspired lens. And wow, this is another thing I will just eat up because it's like, again, thanks to Paula for reintroducing anime to me. I always say that, but ang ganda, grabe. And to see a different style of Star Wars in an Asian light especially is really exciting to see. And I hope that kind of brings more Asian stories to the Star Wars world also. Paula?
I mean, where do I even begin? Like, I watched that trailer siguro about 10 times when it premiered couple of days ago. And I really feel like anime is the perfect medium for a story like Star Wars because anime lets every story that it's unhinged, like completely unhinged in the best possible way. And I think that's what Star Wars needs. Because for the longest time, it's been a very structured, very precise way of storytelling. And that's why a lot of people don't like The Last Jedi because it breaks from that convention. So I think with something like this, with an anime storytelling, there's a potential for the world of Star Wars, which we all know inherently to be a very vast place, to actually be seen as that vast universe that we've all known it to be. It's just I I'm just very excited for it because there's so many things that you could do. And I don't know if you guys remember watching Animatrix or if it's something that was ever in your
Yes.
realms back then. But like that changed the game in terms of what you could do from an existing storyline and turn it into an animated one. So I hope that's what they do here as well. Not naman to discredit like Rebels or the Clone Wars series because those are all great. But I think really anime is a completely different medium despite it being animation like these cartoons are. It's just it's so interesting what these studios can do. The fact that they gave these studios free reign, like completely free reign to the world of Star Wars is fantastic. And I think we're going to have more female leads, which is always important in these big geeky franchises, and just more things to explore. So I'm really really excited for this, and the cast is amazing. Like George Takei will finally be the king of both Star Trek and Star Wars, but of course we'll watch the Japanese dub first.
Yes, definitely. And a lot of the top animation studios in Japan have their own episodes here, right? So that's
Yeah.
definitely
Six Japanese studios, and then the first ever soiree, the first ever premiere of Lucasfilm Animation. So that's interesting to see. Yeah.
it's just, this is coming in September, after Marvel's What If kind of
Yeah.
ends. So a lot of animation to feast on, aside from what we already have. Any other thoughts on this before we end our popcorns?
And that
All
was
right.
it for our August Ganaps that have slipped away. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Popcorn. And of course, thank you so much to our extra special guest co-hosts from the Pop Emergency Podcast, our kapitbahays, Alywn and Adrian. Thanks for coming on. Including, syempre, ang ating mga co-hosts from the Popcorn squad. We have Paula, Maxine, Jeremiah, and Burns. Thank you so much. And syempre, thank you again to the radyo-katipunan fam. You can always tune in to Popcorn every Thursday here on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM. And if you do listen to podcasts, you can go and tune into all our previous episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you stream your podcasts. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time for more Popcorn and the second part of this episode, which you'll see really soon. Thanks, everyone, and have a great week ahead.
Things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.